man, I guess they didn't appreciate us talking all that shit. We were sitting there talking about how we were going to be home, away from home, away from home. We're going to talk about this whole game that happened on Monday night. We're also going to go into the pregame against the Bears. Let's get this episode started, shall we? So here it is, 28-14, and I don't care what anybody wants to say about this game. I don't care about what any of these higher-ups, these mainstream media all want to say about this game. We got our asses handed to us. We couldn't run the ball. Defense could only do what they could do. Offense, I mean, let's just go over this. The very first drive of the game, defense gives up a touchdown. Herbert drives the team, the damn Chargers, down the field, scores. We get our first possession. We can't answer. This is when I knew right off the bat that we were going to have issues with this team. I already knew we were going to have issues, just like from the video I was talking about before. We were all sitting there and we're all talking about, oh, how we're going to play this quote-unquote home game. Well, I guess, they didn't like it. Obviously, they didn't like it. I mean, they literally handed us our ass in all three aspects of the game. Offensively, defensively, and special teams, except for Hunter Renfrow. Motherfucking Hunter Renfrow. If I had a player of the game this game, it would definitely be Hunter Renfrow for laying the wood like a linebacker on that fake punt that they tried to pull. So we're going to go over the stats for this game here. And I've got them on screen. I'm going to calm down a little bit. Although we literally got our asses handed to us. Derek Carr, 21-34, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 nasty interception. The ball should have never been thrown. We had 48 yards total of running. We couldn't run the ball at all. Josh Jacobs, 13 carries, 40 yards, averaged 3.1. Derek Carr, 3 for 6. Kenyon Drake, 1 for 2. Peyton Barber, he's hurt, 1 for none. And he got hurt this game. Absolutely terrible that we lost him. Josh Jacobs is not 100% yet. And we could definitely tell by watching him run. But I honestly don't lay it on him. I don't lay it on him. I do lay the woes for Kenyon Drake on Kenyon Drake because Kenyon Drake is just not seeing the line. He's not seeing the holes. But that can also be, there can also be other factors that are going on with the running game on why we can't develop anything on the ground. Receiving. Henry Ruggs, 3 receptions for 60 yards on 6 targets. Darren Waller, 4 for 50. Did a great job with the, on 7 targets with 1 touchdown. You do an excellent job, Waller. You do an excellent job. But costing us 15-yard penalties, even though you might not have costed us a first down, probably might not have been the way to go. Now, I know, look, nobody else is going to go out here and say it. I'm going to say it. All right? Calm the fuck down, dude. Spiking the ball on the sideline. Calm down. You are a Raider. Okay? They are looking to throw a flag at you just because you are a Raider. And when you're going out here being Mr. Big Billy Badass, spiking the ball on the sideline, on the opponent's sideline, you're going to get a flag 9 times out of 10. Why? Because you are a Raider. The thing on top of your neck is not a hat rack. Please use it accordingly. Hunter Renfrow, 6 receptions for 45 yards, 1 touchdown on 8 targets. Hunter Renfrow should have been the player of the game this game. Josh Jacobs, 5 receptions for 17 yards on 5 targets. Willie Snead, 1 for 15. We've finally seen a sighting of Willie Snead catching the ball. And it was a touchdown. Zay Jones. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was not a touchdown. My bad. I am so retarded. God, that's going to get me flagged. So Kindergarten. Yeah, there you go. So Kindergarten. Josh Jacobs, like I said, 5 for 17. Willie Snead, 1 for 15. Zay Jones, 1 for 5. Brian Edwards, 1 for 4 on 4 targets. Derek Carr had a fumble. Hunter Renfrow had a fumble. But they didn't lose them. Okay, we didn't have any interceptions. We had 4 pass deflections. And that was Solomon Thomas, Max Crosby, Hunter Renfrow, and Trayvon Moehrig. Defense. Denzel Perryman is doing an excellent job at that position that he is playing. 8 tackles, 4 assists, 1 tackle for a loss. Now, he did give up that 1 pass in coverage. And, you know, it's such a hard ball to play. He had his arm right there in the right spot. It just happened to be thrown just a little bit better than what he could defend. Because it's not like he could literally turn around. At the split, at a moment's notice, you know, for Herbert to put the ball right there where he put it. And by the way, Jared Cook, we all remember Jared Cook. He torched us on Monday night. Jared Cook. Never thought that I would be saying that name again, especially him being in the division of torching us. Now he's going to be attempting to do that twice a season, as long as he's with the Chargers. Corey Littleton, 8 tackles, 4 assists. He had a great game. Amik Robertson, who had to come in, 6 tackles, 1 assist. Jonathan Abram, 4 tackles, 4 assists. Trayvon Moehrig, 4 tackles. Jonathan Abram had 1 tackle for a loss. KJ Wright, 2 tackles, 3 assists. Casey Hayward, 2 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss. Darius Philon, the sack machine, who came out today, 2 tackles, 1 assist. 2 of those, both of his tackles were sacks, and of course they were for a loss because that's what sacks are. Roderick Teamer, 2 tackles. Nate Hobbs, 2 tackles, 2 assists. Jonathan Hankins, 1 tackle, 3 assists. Nick Kwiatkowski, 1 tackle, 1 assist. I haven't said his name since last season. Yannick Ngakoue, 1 tackle. Carl Nassib, 1 tackle, and that was for a loss. And then we got Tyree Gillespie, who didn't have anything, and Max Crosby, 1 assist. Solomon Thomas, 2 assists. Damon Arnett, who also is now injured, 1 tackle, 2 assists. Cleveland Farrell, 1 tackle. Okay, kicking. AJ Cole 0 for 1 on field goals. It was a 52-yarder, I believe, that he was trying to make. AJ Cole had 5 punts, man. 5 punts. 51.2 yards. 1 of those was inside the 20. Kickoff returns. Kenyon Drake, 3 returns. An average 22.7. His long was 31. Peyton Barber, 1 return for 25 yards. Punt returns. Hunter Renfrow, 3 returns for 7.3. 0 touchdowns, 17 long, and 1 hell of a hit stick. Nick Kwiatkowski, 1 return with a 6-yard gain. So there's our stats, Raider Nation. Now, there's only one good thing that we can really take from this game, and at least that there is a 3-way tie for first place in the AFC West. It is definitely, if not the hardest, the second hardest division in football. And you're right, I am definitely saying that. There's not, besides the NFC West, which is still debatable, the AFC West, every team in the AFC West would dominate every other division out there if they were there. And yes, I'm giving our opponents, our division rivals, props, because they are that good. Denver, we'll see. Everything's still up in the air with Denver, but the Chargers and the Chiefs, we both know, are for real. All right, they could lead the division anywhere else if they decided to go. We definitely have one of the hardest divisions in football. And after 4 weeks, we are 3-1. We are tied for first. That's a great thing we can take from this game. We can also take what we learned from this game. Okay? And what we did learn from this game is that we still need a lot of work. We have definitely been humbled. I'm glad to take the loss now. I hate that we take it to my most hated rival. Okay, it might not be everybody else's most hated rival, but the Chargers are my most hated rival. Alright, we might take an L to them, but we'll see them again at the end of the season. Last week of the season, I believe it's week 18, we see them again. Week 17, week 18, however they've got that panned out this year. Everything's so different now, but some things still seem to stay the same. You know? Man, it kills me to lose to those guys, but they are a good team. And I said that we couldn't sleep on them. And, everybody else wanted to talk, even myself wanted to talk, we're playing them in LA. It's going to be nice and loud there. Man, they embarrassed us. They embarrassed us on national television in front of everyone. I had my homeboy hit me up, and he was like, yo, I bet on the Raiders because of how much you talked them up and how good they were doing. I went and bet some money on the Raiders and lost my ass on Monday. I don't even want to hold on to that, but that kind of sucks because, yes, I did boast us up quite a bit. I wasn't as negative as I have been. As a matter of fact, I thought I was going to be retiring this channel because I'm supposed to be critiquing the team, and if we're winning, then there's nothing to critique except for small little stupid things. So this show was going to go away, and I was going to fade off into non-existence, and turn into my alter ego and show up to the games and just be a fan. So when I go off and I see this game and I see how everybody was playing, I was like, man, looks like I got material to go off of again. And I don't want this material to go off of, I don't want to be negative. But geez, you guys always seem to figure out a way to bring back that ugly face that us fans don't want to see anymore. We've been seeing it since 2004. And then we got division rivals linemen, division team players talking shit about our quarterback. Now, I'm only going to say a little bit about this because I'm not going to sit over here and I'm not going to bash Joey Bosa for what he said. Although I still don't like them. I still don't like him. You know what I mean? But this right here should be a proven entity right off the bat that things are starting to reap their ugly face. Okay? We've been talking about it for years, Raider Nation. That has been a debate throughout all of Raider Nation since 2017. Some of us have taken up for him. Some of us have not taken up for him. Some of us have even bashed him. Some of us have even said that he does not have what it takes because he is gun shy. I know I've debated it. I've talked with plenty of Raider Nation about this very subject. Well, now Bosa is calling him out. And Derek Carr did have a reply. Yeah, it pissed him off. It damn sure should piss him off. And what we can take from this and what Derek needs to take from this right off the bat is, look, bro, all these other players, especially division players, they believe the jury is out on you. But it's just like, what mainstream media said, yeah, every quarterback chokes when you put him under pressure. That's why they always say, hey, put the quarterback under pressure. Because if you do, he will make mistakes. Well, now it's time. Derek, if you're listening, if you're watching, it's time to do it all over again, man. All the haters that were on Twitter who talked mad shit about you. Oh, he can't throw deep. Oh, all he does is check down. Oh, all he does this and all he does that and he goes down. It's time to shut him up once more. You're going to have to use this as motivation, man. And use it just like you did with everything else and shut all of these motherfuckers up. So now we're moving on to the Bears. Okay? We've got the Bears coming into Las Vegas, which that's good for us. We definitely need a home game after basically being humiliated in Los Angeles. There are some things that, the great thing about this is that it is the Raiders, and the Raiders always have a lot of news, especially after a loss. A lot of things start coming out. A lot of people start talking. A lot of things just start coming together, and it gives me all kinds of content to talk about. So we already know that our good friend and one of our ex-family members, Khalil Mack, plays for the Bears. Now, he might not be playing. They're saying he's doubtful, but I have a feeling he's going to be playing. Now, here is the offense and defensive comparisons in between both teams. Look at their offense. They are the worst offense in the NFL. We are 5th. They have the 12th ranked defense. We have the 19th. Okay? They are 32nd in passing. All right? 32nd in passing. We are 2nd. Okay? They've got a few key injuries going on that side of the ball too. The Bears have an issue on defense right now with all the injuries that they have. By looking at these stats right here, here's Derek Carr. This is what he did, or what he's doing for the season. 1,000. I believe that says, sorry guys, I'm not wearing my glasses. 1,299 yards. I know he had a bad showing last game, but when you don't have a line to protect for you, you're going to have a bad showing. And, we're going to talk about that too. So we got Derek Carr coming in here, and he's putting up MVP stats. He really is. It was just a slip up last game. Although that interception was ugly. Now here's Khalil Mack's stats. All right, he's got 4 sacks on the year. All right, that's 2 more than Max Crosby. It's going to be good to play against him once more. Last time we played against him, we whooped him in London. So we got, I spotlighted Khalil Mack. They got a lot more players on that defense of Chicago that are playmakers. They really do. I can't even go off them by name. I can't sit there and tell you who they are, but that defense is really good. There's a reason why they're ranked 12th. But this is the big one right here. Man, they're sitting Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton, I don't believe Andy Dalton has lost to us. I don't think he has. As a matter of fact, every time he played with Cincinnati and they played us, they beat us. Andy Dalton's going to the bench and they're starting the rookie, Justin Fields. Now, I'm worried about this, but I know what we should do. We should eat this dude alive. We should turn him into a turnover machine. And we should just have a heyday. Our defense should have a heyday. Everybody on our defense should have a heyday. Max should have a heyday. But Phylon had a heyday against the Chargers. He needs to have another heyday. Hankins needs to have a heyday. Quentin Jefferson needs to have a heyday. This quarterback needs to be under duress all game long, just like the Chargers did to Derek Carr on Monday night, except for 2 to 3 times worse. Now, I hope Max Crosby gets in and gets a couple more sacks. He's had a lot of pressures this year, and he's been in on a lot of plays, but it just hasn't really shown up in the stat sheet. Phylon's already got 2 sacks as well, and we got Quentin Jefferson. I believe he's got a couple sacks. So, I mean, we've got a defensive line. We've got a good front 7. We've even got a good secondary. But this is what hurts, man. Both of our starting corners are out for this game. I am so sorry with the way that the backdrop looks. That is OBS straight up going full kindergarten. I made sure I made that right, but yeah, you can't really read that. But what it says is that Arnett has struggled while Mullen is pretty much out. You know, it is what it is, but damn, that means our secondary is going to be suspect. We're going against a rookie quarterback. And it's just like going against a second-string quarterback, because that's what he is. And you already know my philosophy on second-string quarterbacks. I said it a couple weeks ago. We don't game plan for them. So this could be a very interesting game, to say the least. I don't even have a prediction for this game, because everything is so wishy-washy and flip-floppy. Here is the glaring area in the room. We can't get anything done when it comes to this offensive line. We've got too many people hurt. Too many people not doing their job on the offensive line. I don't know whether it's scheme or whether it's just their brain farting when they get up there. But they're making moves now to fix that offensive line, because a lot of players haven't panned out up there. We've lost Denzel Good, we lost Richie Incognito, and it doesn't look like they're coming back anytime soon. So we've been having to run with Colton Miller, John Simpson, Andre James, who, by the way, is just, he's not Rodney Hudson. He's doing the best job he can, but he's not Rodney Hudson. Ellimore, whoever that guy is, which I've been watching him get basically abused, and then Leatherwood on the outside. Well, we got to do something about this offensive line, because if we can't give anybody time to throw the ball, or let alone be able to open up some running lanes, we're going to have slow starts on offense. You can only pass or run on offense. There's nothing else you can do. And if the line, who are the men in the trenches, who are the most important dudes in the game, are not being able to execute, then we're not going to be able to run or pass, which means our offense ain't going to move the fucking ball, and we're going to sit here and suck offensively, leaving the game on the defense's shoulders. A defense that is depleted with injuries. We really got to do what we got to do with the offensive line. I understand. I know why that offensive line was butchered, why Rodney Hudson and Gabe Jackson and Trent Brown aren't there, which we don't really need Trent Brown anyway, but Not having Hudson and Jackson really hurts. But how do you think we got Yannick Ngakoue? How do you think we got KJ Wright? How do you think we got Casey Hayward? How do you think we got any of those badass free agents for the defense to make that defense better? We weren't going to get rid of our wide receivers. We weren't going to get rid of our star running back. We're not going to get rid of our quarterback. We could have got rid of our backup and maybe sold him for a bunch and got some more draft picks. But then again, I wouldn't have done it even at the beginning of the season. But then again, I didn't think he would stay hurt. But I mean, really, in every move, in every look that you could possibly see, that you could have went to try to save some money, they got rid of LaMarcus Joyner. They let Jason Witten go. They got rid of a lot of the dead cap money that we were suffering from huge contracts. Plus, they had to make sure that they had a defense, and Rodney Hudson, it wasn't because of his play, because obviously he's doing an excellent job in Arizona. They're the only undefeated team left. But we had to make headroom to build that defense because that's what Raider Nation was calling for. Remember Twitter? Remember, oh, we need a defense. Oh, we need a defense. Well, we got a defense now. Now we have to mold this new offensive line to where they can play together. So Tom Cable's got his work cut out for him. And they are making moves to try to make the offensive line better in a short-term kind of Band-Aid kind of way. And they're bringing in Brandon Parker to go ahead and play at left tackle, and they're moving Leatherwood to guard. Now look, Leatherwood has been, I believe he's replacing Elmore. So, I went on Twitter and I did not want to believe or report on anything as like everybody did yesterday without it coming out of an official person's mouth, for the simple fact you never know what's bullshit and what's not. Now, they did report this yesterday, and they reported it way too damn early. There's a lot of media who are in trouble with the Raiders right now because they were posting about how Leatherwood was moved into guard and how Brandon Parker came, and he has been moved into the starting lineup, starting on the left tackle position. Now, I think this is a wonderful idea. I've given Brandon Parker a shit ton of critique ever since he's come to the team. Last year, when he had to come in and fill in, he looked great. It looked like he was finally starting to get it last year. Now, hopefully, we're going to get that same Brandon Parker from last year coming into the game and holding down that tackle position. I'm just hoping not to see the Brandon Parker from 2 to 3 years ago. So, like I was saying, we're dealing with a lot of injuries. We've also got a lot of injuries going on with our opponent. Now, I'm going to get this booted up here because I did not have that on my phone, and I definitely can't see that. My eyes are nowhere near as good as they should be, or from what they used to be, because that's what happens when you get old. But I don't really call it old. They call it gray hair right here. I don't really call that old, man. I'm just mature enough that I'm finally growing into the silver part of my uniform. So I'm going to scroll down here to this game that we are about to embark on here Sunday afternoon at 4:05 in the afternoon. And I believe that's Eastern Standard Time. For the Bears, we have Akeem Hicks, defensive tackle. It's a groin injury. He was in limited participation. I know I do not have the limited and actually what's going on with that. His game status is doubtful. Then we have Jasper Horsted, tight end. It's a knee. He was in full participation. He's questionable. Christian Jones, linebacker, limited participation, questionable. Tashawn Gibson, safety, it's a hamstring. He was limited, full participation, and he's questionable. And we've got J.P. Holtz, which is a tight end. It's a quadricep. He did not participate. He is out. Khalil Mack, linebacker, ribs, foot. Limited participation in practice. He's questionable. I still expect him to play. Dion Bush, safety. He has nothing to report. Darnell Mooney, wide receiver, nothing to report. Damian Williams, running back. He was in full participation. Then we have David Montgomery. This is the big one. This is their star running back, their starter. Knee injury. He did not participate, and he is out. It all tops off with Jesse James, tight end. So they have 3 tight ends that are hurt. It's a non-injury related personal matter. He did not practice. He is also out. Let's go to our team, our beloved Raiders. Trayvon Mullen, cornerback. Toe, he did not participate. He's out. Just like I said before. Colton Miller, tackle. Nothing to report. Derek Carrier, tight end. Pectoral muscle, he did not practice. He's out. Alec Ingold, fullback. He was in full participation. That is really good because we need him back in the lineup. Josh Jacobs, nothing to report. He's in full participation. I hope he's 100%. Corey Littleton, there's nothing to report. Foster Moreau, nothing. He was in limited participation, but there's nothing to report. Peyton Barber, running back, toe injury. It's basically turf toe. Limited participation in practice. He is questionable. Casey Hayward, there's nothing to report. Damon Arnett is out with a groin injury. Nate Hobbs, cornerback, he was in full participation. This is a really good sign that we have Nate Hobbs coming in. He is at least a corner. Even though he might play the slot, he can come in and play the outside. Not to mention with that new Charger that we signed. I can't pronounce his name, and I don't have any backdrops of him. I don't even know if we're going to call him up to the active roster this week. But it looks like that Nate Hobbs and possibly Keyshawn Nixon, who is coming back from IR, will be the cornerbacks in this game. Hunter Renfrow, he was in full participation. There's nothing to report, even though they did say that he did suffer some type of injury in that game against the Chargers. Jonathan Abram, he was in full participation, and Darren Waller was in full participation. So from the look of the injury report, their defense is going to be missing some key players. With Khalil Mack being questionable with the foot, he might not be as elusive and as awesome as he normally is to be able to attack Derek Carr like the Chargers did to him last week. And yes, I'm going to keep reiterating to that because offensive line, you did. You almost got Derek Carr killed. It's unreal. With everything that has gone on with this football team, injury-wise, and I'm not making excuses. I'm not making excuses at all. I think this football team is awesome, but that's when they're playing. When they're actually playing and they're not making these mental mistakes. Leatherwood and the false starts. The penalties. My God, the penalties against the Chargers. We racked up so many penalties. That 15-yarder against Waller hurt. It killed momentum to the point to where it even had him where it's just Derek Carr going down early because he's been under duress all game long. You know, we were supposed to show everybody that we were for real. And once we got a Monday night game against a division rival, we laid an egg. Now, I hope we learn from this game. I hope we're going to do everything we can to beat the Bears. I don't have a prediction score because there's no telling how this game's going to wind up. We don't even know what team's going to show up when it comes to these Raiders. I'm hoping that they have a fire set up underneath their ass and they're going to play hard. And we're going to blow these dudes out. But I already know how this team works. Once we start getting the lead, we're going to take our foot off the gas. But I can tell you what, the damn Chargers didn't take their foot off the gas when they went up on us 21-0. And Derek Carr and that offense had to come out on fire in the second half to get us even close because it was 21-14 at one point. That game was winnable. We just didn't win. We fell apart. We can blame it on coaching. We can blame it on scheme. We can blame it on the players. We just need to blame it on ourselves and learn from this. We shouldn't have been running our mouths the way we were. We know exactly how these Chargers play against us. We should have never took them for granted. We should have never took them lightly. And I never do. Because normally this is the team. This Chargers team that tries to break my heart 2 times a year. And then if they see playoffs, one pissed off Raider fan watching the playoffs. Now we need to just get it all together. Get this team to where we're firing on all cylinders. We need a running game. We have to be able to run the ball. An offensive line, you've got to be able to block. Tom Cable, you got to get those guys coached up. We were giving you all kinds of praise last season because of how great that line was. But now without Hudson, without Jackson, without Incognito, that line is one of the worst in the damn league. And that falls on you, coach. That falls on you. And maybe it's because these guys aren't listening. But you're going to have to light into their ass, coach. That's just the way it is. And I really do. Yeah, I can't believe. There was 2 people who actually hit free agency that I really wanted to get. Stephon Gilmore. And that dude from Dallas. I think it's Justin Taylor. I don't know what the hell his first name is, but Taylor. It was a linebacker. Jalen Taylor. Was it Jalen Taylor? I don't know what his name, but he would have been a good acquisition too, depending on whether he would have worked out or not. I know we could easily move on from a few players that are not helping this team. I'm not going to mention them by name, but Q-Dog always talking about getting this dude cut. I think it's time to move on. Hey, even Murph from Raiders Fan Radio was talking about it earlier this week. We gotta get this together. Now, with the way the schedule is, we could easily pull away from the rest of the division. We have to take this in our own hands, and we have to play like the team that we know we can play like. We know what we got to do. Y'all know what you got to do. But I mean, it is what it is. Do you guys really want to be sitting at home watching the Super Bowl again this year with the rest of us fans? Pissed off as hell because you knew you had the right team, but you just couldn't get it done? I'm Raider Gun, man. Thank you all for coming and tuning into my show, The Raider Critique. I'm sorry that I have to come at everybody like this, but I'm really happy that all of you decide to show up. I'm really happy for all the loyal subscribers who have stuck with me even when I wasn't doing this religiously like I should be. And I do appreciate all of you who come in. I even appreciate all you other fans who come in here and watch me talk smack about your team. You know I'm going to. Just like you would talk smack about our team, I gotta talk smack about yours. Just like the Bears, man. You guys got a rookie quarterback coming in to a defensive line who has been feasting on opponent quarterbacks. We might see Andy Dalton show up in this game, Raider Nation, and bear down. Because I'm not going to call you Bears Nation. There's no such fucking thing. Really wish that all of you teams fans would stop pulling off of our Kool-Aid. That's our shit. That ain't y'all's. Anyway, I'm Raider Gunn, man. This has been the Raider Critique. I appreciate all y'all for stopping by. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. I'm going to try to be more prompt with these videos, but more than likely we're going to be doing 1 to 2 videos a week. And when I do these game recaps, you're going to also get a game preview for the following week. And that's how I'm going to do that. And I'm going to also start trying to do live to where I can start taking some of y'all's phone calls. More of that to come. Definitely going to happen this season. And, you know, like I said, man, like I've always said and like we always say, there is no other team in football that we like. We just tolerate you bitches. There are 32 NFL football teams. There are the Raiders, and then the 31 other teams are the Raiders bitches. It's Raider Nation for life.